You know, what I did then was I applied the subsurf. I may have remeshed it, right? Because I have found that remeshing just really helps sculpting. But when you remesh, you have to make sure you set all, you get your scale back to 1, because if you do not, it'll crash Blender. So Control A, scale, set it back to 1. Now we can remesh that. All right, where is it? Here it is. And you don't have to go crazy. I like to start my meshes out slow. Low rather, so I don't want a huge high vertices count until the very end, because as I said, my computer's a little older and it can only handle what it can handle. Right, even that is a lot. But now I can just bring that into sculpt mode and I can sculpt on it. I can't unfortunately show you that because this is not on my Wacom. This is this is on my this is on my monitor, and it's not on my Cintiq. I'll tell you what, if you wait a second, I'll switch everything and I'll give you a look at what I did. An undetermined amount of time later. Okay, so now we're back on my Cintiq. Yes, there we go. Okay, so as you can see here, there's the block, and we will hit sculpt, and we disappear. I hate this. I really wish it wouldn't do that. It's so annoying. But okay. So all I did here was just rough it up a little bit, right? I took this, maybe. Now let's turn the strength down a little bit. Right, it's just, I wanted to beat it up a little bit. Put some dents in it. Then I went back, smoothed it out. And what really did it for me was I used that tool, I used the blob tool on subtract, and I put a lot of little dinks in it. Like, let's hit F, make it a little smaller. I was trying to make it look like they were hand-carved blocks. And I put in way more than I needed. Now see, this is where, and I've never used ZBrush, but texturing is one thing that ZBrush, I think, has over Blender. There you go. That's pretty much all I did, and I did that to every single block by hand. The problem with using stamping brushes or anything like that is you really have to pump up the vertices in the item you want to put a texture on. Like, this texture might not be so bad, but if you wanted to do something like, the thing where ZBrush really stands out is like textures in clothes. I've seen, superhero figures and stuff that sculpted that have textures in cloth that look amazing, and the only way I've found to do that in Blender is freaking crank up the resolution, like put in tons and tons of vertices, and then use what is it, a deform map or something. You can apply a texture to something, but you have to have a crazy amount of vertices in there to do that, and it makes file sizes incredibly large. I don't know about the file sizes in ZBrush. I mean, if anyone knows another way to do it, please let me know. I would like to get some more textures and stuff in my work, and this is the only way I've really found to do it and not make the file sizes colossal. But that's really it. It's just a lot of work. You just got to do each one. I suppose I could have done one and then duplicated it around the whole thing, but then everything's going to look the same. So I like to hand texture each of them so they all had a different look. And if you'll see also, oh, not on this one, you can't see. I decided there are cracks in some of them. So my idea was that, you know, a lot of people have walked on this altar and they've cracked the stones over the, you know, millennia. And I wanted to show, you know, like tread patterns. So all I really did for that, you know, we get in there real close, use this. You know, and you can see the resolution starting to fall out a little here, so I would remesh it up at this point. Right now I can even add the same amount of remesh, and it will now that I've stretched that out, it remesh, it will actually add more vertices in there, so I can now get rid of those marks and then go back in and redo the crevices. You know, maybe I'll do that and make a little rock-like thing, and then I'll remesh it again, and maybe hit a touch of smooth. What's it? Oh, our strength is way high. Let's turn that down a little, because you really just want to get those. Let's call it pixelation, for lack of a better term. You want to get that out. All right, maybe I'll put another one here. You know, and you can get yourself some reference if you want. And since I'm using a Cintiq, I can also do it with pen pressure. So I'm barely grazing the pen over the surface of the tablet. And it's going to take out less. But that's really all there was to the base. We'll be moving on to the figure next. Don't forget to check out the pre-launch page for the Kickstarter for this project. The actual project will go live the 1st of April, so I hope you'll check it out.